Cheers to a Legend, brought to you by Bundaberg Rum.
This is try time on debut. Greg Inglis will collect the 4 points. Oh, he'll remember tonight for quite some time. Over the top in the corner, Greg Inglis on to claims 4 points in the corner.
Enormous interest in this man, Greg Inglis tonight. Best player in the world, Golden Boot in 09. And out there and above them, Greg Inglis. Greg Inglis has scored. One of the most awaited grand finals of all time.
Away and running once again. Inglis to celebrate it. What a moment. It finishes with the goanna.
Yeah, that was our Bundaberg legend, Greg Inglis. The great news for South fans is that he will be making his return this week. The bad news is that our next guest will not be contributing on the field for the rest of the season. That's very unfortunate. Johnny Sutton, good to see you. I feel almost a bit silly asking this because you sort of swayed like a mummy, but did you know when you went down with the injury that it was a season ender?
Oh, I heard something pop there when I went down, but the physio run me off the field, so as I was running I could feel it. You know, it was pretty sore, and so by the time I got off the field, yeah, I knew something was pretty bad.
So what is it? What were you running on?
Yeah, I had a broken fibula. So
Wow.
yeah, just had the operation a week and a half ago and got a plate and some screws in there, and just on the mend now.
I wouldn't have been running anywhere.
How's yeah. What do you think? What are your thoughts on George Burgess and this garbage that went on the weekend, and how the NRL's reacted to it? Honestly.
Yeah, I think
Well, you know, he's gone in tonight.
2 weeks.
He hasn't
Yeah.
been successful, so
For
he's
that.
gone for a fortnight.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous.
It is, isn't it?
You know, to miss 2 finals games for throwing an empty bottle at someone's feet is just ridiculous, and you know, a fine may be appropriate, but not 2 weeks.
Where are South Sydney at the moment? You've lost 3 in a row. You've conceded, I think, 109 points in your last 3 matches. Where are the defending premiers?
Yeah, you know, we've been playing the best footy the last few weeks, but you know, I got full belief in the boys. We just got to make sure we bring our defensive game. You know, it's been letting us down the last few weeks, and you know, it's finals now. It's a whole new competition, and I'm sure the boys will be ripping in this week and, you know, doing the best they can to make sure they put a good performance in this weekend.
Another news story yesterday, John, was obviously the fact that Glenn Stewart has been given permission to negotiate and is looking overseas in the UK. Did that surprise you?
I really haven't heard nothing about that yet.
Glenn Stewart's been given permission to look elsewhere. He's still got a season to go.
Oh, okay.
He's actually got 2 years to go.
Oh, is that right?
He signed a 3-year deal, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a bit surprising. You know, Gifty's been great for us ever since he come here. He's you know, a very experienced player and good to have around the club. So it'd be you know, sad to see him go, but yeah.
What do you reckon the chances of Sam Burgess coming back? Heard he's not happy in England in rugby, so you'd probably know the inside word.
Yeah, he's made the World Cup team, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I heard he's keen to come back to you blokes.
Yeah, but I think because he's made the World Cup team, he has to play another year.
Yeah.
For Bath. So
after that.
After that. So
I reckon it's not a matter of if, John, it's a matter of when. So perhaps at the end of 2016, do you think we might see him back? Or
probably when the TV deal goes up.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, he's not going to be there this weekend. And you're up against a Cronulla side who, as we say, blew an opportunity on the weekend. It's important for Cronulla that they look at the glass half full and the fact that, OK, we didn't make the top 4, but there are 8 other teams that would love to be in our position, and we are playing finals football. What about this Cronulla side? You know, people say that they're a gritty side, they like to get into the grind, but do they offer a little bit more than that, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. They like to play to the edges with you know, Wade Graham and Lukey Lewis. You know, they got some good front rows through the middle. You know, it's going to be a game this weekend. We really need our boys to stand up and march through the middle, and you know, hopefully our halves can play off the back of that and get Greg involved. A
lot of really important players have been named this weekend, and for Cronulla, Andrew Fafita, will he?
Yeah.
I think he adds something extra. They've got a lot of players who work hard, fairly up and down, come at you straight. Andrew Fafita, he's got that. He can offload, he can step, he can do a whole, and he's a big man.
He's very unstructured the way he plays. He's not like your typical front row, but he's got skills like a halfback. Like if you watch all this kind of stuff, and he's going to be obviously, filthy that he's let the team down the last 6 weeks, and hopefully hasn't lost much match fitness, but he'll get out there and he'll be a danger.
There was a bit of criticism about players having too many carries. I can see Phil Gould. Well, he'd never mentioned it, but he did say that worried more about statistics than getting the job done. I think that there are some Cronulla forwards who maybe have a carry of the football in the wrong place. When you get down into the good attacking zone, I do think the Cronulla halves and their outside men need to get more football there and maybe early football.
It was interesting to note today, Pete, that Shane Flanagan actually came out, the coach of the Cronulla Sharks, and clarified that in relation to Paul Gallen, and the reason that he was carrying the ball when he was because the absence of Andrew Fafita. Clearly he's been missing because of that suspension in relation to what happened at that junior match.
Yeah.
So I found that interesting. Willie, do you think some of the senior blokes at the Shire, do they look to have too much control of the ball at critical stages?
Yeah, a little bit. I just think Gal's used to playing, obviously for years, and being the strength of that whole team, because he didn't really rely on their backs because their back line wasn't that, wasn't too crash hot. So he was used to always getting the ball two, maybe 3 times a set, and he's just got a massive motor. He just keeps going. But obviously, when you get down in the red zone, Sutto, the good ball plays, and it needs to go wide. That Jack Bird's a gun. You know what I mean? You got Luke Lewis, Valentine Holmes. He hasn't got like subpar backs anymore. You got Gordon. You got all these guys. Got so much danger. Some games they rarely touch the ball because.
Especially
guys
not in the right areas.
On the game, yeah. Especially Ennis, he controls that ruck as well. So he needs to know when to give it to his 7.
Just before we go quickly into the other elimination final, there's accusations that this is a tired South Sydney team. Have you seen any of that? Is there any validity in that, do you think?
No, not at all. Every week everyone's upbeat, even though we haven't been playing as well. Everyone comes into training upbeat, and I'm just looking forward to, enjoying each other's company and getting the training out in the sun, and looking forward to the games on the weekend.
What about your coach, Sutto, when he was recently linked to the Newcastle Knights? As players, was that mentioned at all, or was it a distraction at this stage of the year? Or?
No, I don't think it was. I would get my operation done, so I wasn't there all week, but no, it wasn't much of a distraction, I don't think, to the players.
All right, let's have a look at the Canterbury Dragons game. That's the other elimination final, Saturday night at ANZ. It's a match between two clubs that haven't flattered that much of late, although the Bulldogs have won 5 in a row. Struggled against the Warriors on the weekend. Maybe their minds were somewhere else. Who's the favourite in this game? Are the Canterbury side distinct favourites?
Yeah, I think they are.
I think it's closer than people...
It's pretty close, yeah. The Dragons are very underestimated because, their halves haven't been playing all that well in the last 6 weeks. And Benji was injured for a little while, but their forward pack really rips in. But I just think with, Cassiano and Frank Pritchard and Josh Jackson, all them blokes, they just, they're big and strong and they're powerful. And James Graham, and the Morris twins, they're killing it.
Mike Cooper, at least, and I may have had really big season. The big loss this weekend is the fact that Gareth Widdop has not been named. I also think with no Trent Hodkinson there, if this game comes down to a shootout when it comes to goal kickers, Josh Dugan up against Tim Laffey and Tim Brown. I don't know which way to go there. But Widdop is a huge loss, obviously, and the number 6 for him takes a lot of pressure off Benji Marshall as well.
Yeah, Tim Brown did a terrific job kicking that goal from the sideline on the weekends. But, Pete, I was keen to come to yourself. Des Hasler, as a coach, has been in 11 of 12 final series. It's an incredible record. There's a school of thought that he keeps his cards close to his chest in the style of football that the Bulldogs play throughout the season. And then, like a good Melbourne Cup horse race trainer, perhaps the great Bart Cummings, who obviously sadly passed away last week, he then hits go on the style that he wants to ignite just leading into the finals. Do you buy it?
No.
I just change it.
Whatever's been good enough to get you this far will continue to be good enough. Coaches and players don't bring out bags of tricks and all these secret moves that they've had hidden, which if they'd have missed the finals was a waste if they're hidden away kind of thing. So, no, I don't think... Des Hasler has a great record. in finals because he's had good teams to coach, and he knows what the players need to hear going into finals football. One quirky little stat: he's had 5 teams that have won on the opening weekend of finals football. All 5 of those have gone on to the grand final. So if the side loses on the weekend,
they're done.
The Dogs aren't going to the grand final. If they win on the weekend, they're going that way.
I think a lot of pressure comes on that little kid, Moses Mumbai. You know, I think he's been terrific all year, you know, with Reynolds being out, and he's a gun player. Yeah, I think if he controls the game, if his kicking game and his leadership, and get them big boys running around, I think he's the X factor.
I'm a huge rap on Moses, but his form's plateaued a little bit, and he needs to, both him and Reynolds need to combine really well. We're going to get a tip off you before you go, Johnny. Who do you like, Dragons or Dogs?
I'm going to go with the Dragons. I just think if they can control the Bulldogs forwards, I think Benji and Dugan at the back there can cause some trouble for them.
All right, good to see you. Sorry about the ending of your season, but hopefully you'll be back bigger and better at the beginning of next year.
Thank you.
All right, Johnny Sutton there, and real injury concerns for all the teams, but it's good to see that a lot of clubs are welcoming back very significant players for this first week of finals.